Really, we were teenagers. He was a contractor. I ran the office. Yikes, not a good plan. But we did life pretty well. We were in a mega church in Memphis. Our kids were very involved. I was teaching little ones. I was homeschool mom. That was loads of fun. And things would rock along okay. But he would have occasional, what I called rage storms, and I just kind of felt like it was a quarterly thing, but they would get worse and worse as our business would unravel. Situations would happen. We have a terrible customer, we wouldn't get paid. We'd have bills that we couldn't meet, and it just got worse and worse.
It was perpetuated by people of the church that I was in business with and partners with certain people, and I was framed for fraud. Just the lawsuits and the money and feel like you're in a pressure cooker and you can't get out of it. And I didn't go to church for 3 years because of the inside the church corruption. I thought I just didn't understand it. I struggled with the hypocrisy due to the fact that, you know, my uncle, when I was a little boy, you know, did the things he did to my sister and myself. So it was just a perpetuating PTSD thing that I didn't really understand. The trigger, I didn't understand it. And instead of going to God like I'd done most of my life, I went to the bottle to numb out, to escape.
I felt like I was on stage all the time because I was trying to answer people's questions at church. Where's Ernie? And I would say, oh, he's just not feeling well, really tired, complicated project. I would make up excuses for him, and I had no idea how to handle the alcohol. I was raised in a teetotaling home, and I knew he was doing it to numb out, but it would just make me so mad. And I just, after one pretty scary episode of a lot of yelling and some broken glass, and some friends came over and just said, you can't do this. It's not safe. You got to get out. But boy, did I leave. I left. I moved to Fayetteville, where some of our sons lived. Changed my phone number, left no forwarding address, didn't care where he was, and just kind of floundered for a while.
Jennifer and I were separated for 8 years. I met God in a jail cell. I had been arrested for DUI, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. And I found myself alone. And then I let God have it. I knew God came in there with me, and He was there. I began to scream and yell and tell Him all the stuff that I'd gone through since I was a little boy. And then God said to me, Ernie, I had to do things to get you to have the family you have. He was talking to me just like I'm sitting here talking to you all, just like this. And I'm talking to Him. I said, well, then I don't want to drink anymore. I want my family back. He said, done. He literally said, done. All you had to do was ask. I never desired another drink.
Praise God.
A miracle.
A lady that I knew from children's ministry gave her testimony one Sunday morning. She said she was having struggles in her marriage, and her word was, as a homeschool mom, she was teaching Nehemiah to her kids. And she began to talk about how Nehemiah was rebuilding the wall. And I began to think about the wall around my family and how I'd let so many walls fall down from my anger and my unforgiveness. And she said he didn't just have a trowel in his hand, he had a sword. And I thought, well, Shelley, that's great for you, but I'm so far beyond that. Honey, I'm saving for my divorce. And if I can just get enough money, I will get this divorce and I'll be happy. And the Lord spoke, and I began to weep, because when she said trowel, I saw his hand. You still got that notch there. He has a trowel notch on his hand, and I began to realize my husband loves me, and my God loves me, and I've got to forgive. And I've also got to use the sword of the Spirit, like Nehemiah. So I began to work through forgetting the idea of divorce and to forgive. And it was right after that the Lord, when I would start to think, I would try to pay a bill and I didn't have the money and I didn't know where he was. And I heard he was driving a taxi in Florida. What's that about? Why is he in Florida driving a taxi? And then the next thing I heard, oh, he's managing a Waffle House? A Waffle House in Memphis. What is going on? And I'm up here struggling, got a teenage kid at home. And the Lord gave me this sweet vision that I still see today when I struggle with forgiveness. And it is very graphic in my mind. But it is Jesus on the cross, not just Jesus, my Jesus, my Jesus. And the crown of thorns is on his head, and the blood is streaming down, and he's looking straight into my eyes. And there's so much sorrow in his eyes. And he's reminding me to forgive. I cannot hold on to any unforgiveness. Who would I be to look into his eyes and still not forgive? And yes, it was hard. And no, I didn't believe that he was changed. And no, I said he's maybe going to CR, but I don't think he's in the right Celebrate Recovery. And I don't think he's gone through the spiritual inventory. But he asked me to go to his graduation when he got his celebration chip, and I went and I watched him weep. And I began to think, it might be real. It might be real. Then 2 years later, some more conversations, and he offered to paint my house, but he never tried to push his way back in. And my heart just began to melt, because God was working on my unforgiveness issues. And you were just loving me. So that's kind of how it all melted, and we came back together.
We begin each day with snuggle time. We have snuggle time. We just hold each other, and we laugh about the day before. We talk about what we're going to do that day, and we just hold each other,
We
pray
usually
together.
talk about something the grandkids
Yeah, we
have
talk
said.
about something the grandkids say.
It's a laugh a minute
Yeah.
with them. So
Yeah, we just laugh a lot.
the fruit of forgiveness was freedom to just be who God meant for us to be from the get-go.